So let's turn now to Ivan Feinseth to talk more about Boeing under pressure and if you should own the stock. He is the Chief Investment Officer and Director of Research with Tigress Financial Partners. Good to see you again, Ivan. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We should note that you are bullish longer term on Boeing.
Very much.
Let's look a little shorter term, though. There are a number of key hurdles that the company has to overcome, not the smallest of which is appearing on Capitol Hill. What do you think happens near term to Boeing stock?
Well, I think it may be under pressure through this process, and it could be under pressure into the end of the year as people who have losses may sell it to book the loss for 18. And then I think the stock bounces back in 2019, bounces back in 2020. And I think that they should, as they say, get close to getting this plane back into service by the end of the year. It's a very important plane for the industry and for Boeing. And unfortunately, the problem doesn't only affect the shareholders of Boeing, it affects a very large consistency of stakeholders that include Boeing employees, Boeing shareholders, Boeing customers, the customers, shareholders, and employees of the airlines and the suppliers. This has been very damaging to the airline industry and to the consumer because it has caused a big increase in cost of flights.
What do you expect to happen to management? Or what do you think, as you analyze this company, should happen to the current management?
Well, I think overall you want to buy good companies when they're having a hard time or a bad time. And that's why I think there's a buying opportunity here. Because as Phil LeBeau said, the industry is so capacity constrained that they need the planes. However, this has taken very long, and I think a lot of what's going on now is a lot of people at Boeing trying to cover themselves by saying, I told you there was a problem and you didn't listen to me. So that's causing a lot of these emails and messages that are surfacing. However, I think that one of the keys about managing a crisis is you have to get in front of it head on and try to fix it as fast as possible.
So you anticipate more volatility as we see Boeing have to navigate this kind of landscape, but you have a pretty bullish forecast for the stock 6 months from now.
I think within 6 months that the plane, the MAX, goes back into service, the stock will probably be above $450 a share. You
also like it for the dividend, which we should note they maintained today.
Well, I think that any company that has a dividend of over 2% with a 10-year treasury at 1.5%, and the average yield on the S&P 500 at just below 2%. So any company that has a good dividend, and over the years, a significant amount of total return from companies have come from their dividends.
All right, Ivan Feinseth, thank you so much.
Thank
you. Good to see you again. Ivan Feinseth is the Chief Investment Officer and Director of Research with Tigress Financial Partners. And even if you don't own shares of Boeing outright, you might own them in a fund. According to Morningstar, the biggest holders are the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, Vanguard 500 Index Investor, and American Funds Washington Mutual.